So they'll be calling you a radical. So got a real big scare today. Real big scare. I'm not paranoid. I'm telling you, I'm not. And so what I'm up against, I want to talk a lot about the new Chernobyl documentary that's coming out, done by the Kremlin. I want to talk a lot about that. And I want to talk about the fact that Brookfield has bought the desal plant. Really, honestly, you think about that. He went to Jared. Trump's insane fucking lunatic fucking rant he goes on wind power. You know, I used to listen to Trump in New York talk about the Saudis and 9/11, and you know, the fucking guy, I don't know what's happened to him. I mean, he's got Big Mac brain, I guess. I don't know. Fucking, he's lost it. He's at it. I asked Trump from here to there, what about Fukushima? You're talking about Trump was asked in the early days of Fukushima. I didn't ask him, but a guy I know asked him, what about Fukushima? And he says, you get in a car wreck, you know, sir. We know he's a pro-nuke fucking energy fucking moron, just like Obama. But he's lost his fucking mind on this fucking wind rant. He's saying it kills 100. Do you realize I'm the guy that keeps track of the Eagles freelance? More work I do for free. The guy people that pay won't do it here at Farmington Bay, here in Utah. We get between 6 and 800. You've watched my work out there. We got 11. We got 6 last year. 6. They're scavengers. They're starving to death. And I'll send this to Trump. These are old, really cool Columbia River salmon labels. Important stuff. That's what a salmon used to look like not very long ago. That's a 40-pounder. Caught by a guy. This is what the tide pools. This is before Fukushima. This is before Fukushima. Scientists are mystified, and you know, Danny's doing the psychiatrist freak show. Oh, Fukushima never. I mean, isn't that perfect? Isn't that perfect? Just like the debt, like the fucking opiate addiction. You know, I'll talk briefly about my health, and then we'll dive into this on, you know, the Chernobyl piece, the desal plant, the poisoning of the planet, the epic fucking freaked out denial. So I want people to know, when I got cancer in 2011, fucking hit me like a fucking, we used to say like a Mack truck. Literally, like a freight train, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I was in good shape. I was in epic pain, just going off. I went through this crazy misdiagnosis. It was a nightmare. I mean, purely a nightmare. I mean, trying to figure it out myself, using the internet. I mean, so much fucking pain. You know, I was just fading away fast. I was losing 5, 6, 7 pounds a day. Literally. I'm just fading down to nothing. Oh, I mean, my vitals were collapsing to the point, this whole dog upon. I was so fucking violently sick when this got figured out, and so acutely, I mean, I'm on death's door. I'm within probably hours of death. And, you know, that's where I had no other options. No other options. You know, to go into the bone marrow transplant center and throw all my trust into, you know, a guy I trusted, Vincent Hansen. I trusted him my whole life, you know, Fimbo. And I don't trust nobody. You know, the betrayal I've dealt with in my life. So, the type of cancer I was diagnosed with, AML de novo, OS they call it, which is leukemia that presents in tumors. The biopsy on the tumor was this thing lit up like, I mean, it's off the fucking charts. It was eating me away so violently, so radical. It's not about per se the tumor, not per se about the cell. It's where that's coming from. It's the bone marrow. It's at the core, like a reactor. So they used RCM squared on me. The chemo, they were going to do 5 rounds, bone marrow transplant me, radiate me. 3 rounds. I mean, Celeste at the bone marrow transplant. They're 26 years. Kevin, I prepared your paperwork when you come in. I ranked you as a red 10. She says, you're the only red 10 I've ever seen in my 26 years walk out of here. That's how sick your vitals were so low. I mean, It was a Hail Mary from hell. I mean, I remember the guy had me up, he got me naked, getting me ready for the central line in my jugular vein, the stent in my lumbar puncture, in my brainstem, and he's like, you're a beast through the upper body. I've been here a long time. You're going to need every bit of it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, the experimental chemo, I mean, they bloated me up, just hammered me. It was, mushroom root. There's a lot of it. These chemos, I wouldn't give my dog fucking chemo, but I had no other choice. It's a big, broad term, and so now we're finding out later, and this is what I was up against today. Fuck. My aortic valve failed. My central line. Nightmare. My gallbladder went. My teeth fucking went. The pigment in my eyes actually have come back stronger than they were before, which is freaky. Mitigating the chemo, blah, 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 blah. So I started really rashing up hardcore. I've been dealing with this for about a year and a half. I'm paranoid. I'm afraid. So are the doctors. They're like, blood test, it got fucking so epically bad the last 2 days. Well, we know that's one of the signs, and it's most likely your liver. This chemo destroys it, and I'm like, you don't think Fuck, you don't even know panic mode. You have no clue. Go through this. I'm so fucking nervous. Of course, they tell me my blood pressure's soaring off. I wonder why. And so I got relieved when the test come back on my liver was clean. So, of course, the blood pressure, I think, is a byproduct. So, young doctor, because I'm in a program, because I'm poor and I'm broke now, and like everybody else. So these interns, it's a group by committee at the clinic at the hospital, and they do a great job with me. And they know my whole path. The guy who oversees and runs it, he always tells me, that's some kind of resume you got. And so I got these 2 young doctors that are working with me, and by the way, I owe them so much money, oh God. I've been paying as I can, my medication. Thank you everybody that supports historic work. I wouldn't even be able to get my medication. I says, let me run my theory by you. He says, they photograph me. They video me. They have the whole time. When I was sucking up, because they use it. That's part of the deal. We'll treat you. We'll give you a good deal if we can lab rat you a little bit. Yeah, have that. So they video. They take photographs. They do whatever. He says, in Utah right now, you can't even get in to see a dermatologist the last few years. They're booked 6 months away. We have such a shortage because we have these rash epidemic from hell going on. I says, yeah, it's fucking Fukushima, Fuktonium. I ran my old gig by him. I says, look, here's what I think. I'm going to run this by you. You've been here for a little while. You're pretty mad. You're in mad. You're an intern. You're going to be a doctor. You're a young doctor. You see how many patients a day in here? Yeah, a lot. My thesis is they've roundup and sprayed and poisoned so much, and Fukushima over the top of it, which the Center District, I call Fuktonium, has poisoned this plant. It's in people's bodies. It's the skin irritations and whatever, and they don't know what the fuck. And they're off the hook. They says the most highly in demand doctors in the United States right now are dermatologists. You can't even get near them. Because everybody's fucking rashed up. He says it's the water. That's what he told me. When you shower, you drink, and it doesn't even matter where it's coming from. I says, yeah, it's poison. It's radiation. It's Fukushima. It's Fuktonium. And I ran the whole stick by him and both of them there, stand there, and then the PA. They're like, oh no, you're not far-fetched. We know all about Fukushima, because of me, blah, 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 blah. But they can't talk. We have these fucked up HIPAA laws. So let's hope, waiting for I got some issues going with my kidneys. I mitigate, and I work hard at this. I didn't have a bone marrow transplant, which is unheard of. It's unheard of to be alive having what I have without a bone marrow. It's unheard of. Brian Morse is the only other one we know of. His came back. He only had a transplant this year and it didn't work. Got a stem cell replacement. He's alive. He's doing good. He's a fucking beast, that guy. So, the Chernobyl documentary. Now, I've always believed that the United States CIA blew that. And if you don't think that's true, you know nothing about, you didn't grow up in our era. You have nothing. I mean, if you're younger than we are, you know, I'll be 60 soon. We grew up in the Cold War. Are you kidding? Fuck, that was the whole stick, you know? If you don't think that the United States wanted to do that, you're fucking stupid. I've always said that they did. I've always agreed with that thesis. Gorbachev used to even fucking, you know, go there. But Madman Putin. So that's how the U.S. is going to go down. I'm telling you, is that what ended the Soviet Union? Yeah, fuck yeah, it did. That fucking thing in '86, and you wouldn't even know if it wasn't for Igor. I was in Vienna, meeting with some, and I met him 3 or 4 times. I have his book around here somewhere. I got to dig it out. Autographed. It's a crazy story. I was just at the UN protest, and this kid showed up. We were talking about him. He says, yeah, he was just here, blah, blah, blah. You know, we went to his book signing, blah, blah, here in Vienna. And then the phone rings. I'm walking over the Danube. You know, I like to walk from the UN over the river into Vienna by the fucking creepy Ferris wheel. And it's a nice walk. And phone rings. I had a European phone. I don't even have a phone over there. I like it with no phone, you know. And he says, Igor, I just heard was killed today in a car wreck. And I did a YouTube video. It's out there. Like, yeah. If it wasn't for him, because him and his friend were journalists that had balls. The journalists now have no balls. They just regurgitate the fuck or whatever they. It's like Chernobyl. How we got to rewatch a documentary by HBO to know what happened to Chernobyl? I mean, there's plenty of documentaries. The battle for Chernobyl already there. But I've always believed. I mean, it was a new reactor. The way that played out and the way that down, I've always fucking thought that there was a mold. Edward Teller, the mad Hungarian piece of fucking shit, who Einstein hated his guts. Andrei Sakharov, Tsar Bomba, the real guy who won a real Nobel Prize, not Barry Antoine, hated his guts. They all said he was a piece of shit. Dr. Scheer. I know Dr. Scheer. There's some videos and pictures with Dr. Scheer and I. You ought to hear him. He was in the hot room out in Livermore with fucking Teller. You know, I've listened to his lectures. I know Dr. Scheer perfect. You ought to hear him go off about the piece of shit. He was asked towards the end of his life, you're probably responsible for killing and poisoning more people than anybody there. You're nuclear mad. You want to blow up, I mean, you name it, you want to do it. You know, Star Wars, who Trump's designing Star Wars now. Nuke them. Remember all that shit? You know? Carter is smarter. Freaking re-elect Nancy. You know? By the way, Nancy Reagan, I think it's irony all this plays out. Nancy Reagan's funeral was on the 5th anniversary of Fukushima meltdowns, because I was there. I mean, I was in SoCal. We did our stick gig over at the reactor. I mean, remember Patty Davis taking her clothes off, anti-nuclear? Fuck, where's she now? Where are many of them now? They're sellouts. So, she comes out, the wife of the fireman, in the brilliant documentary. Now, you know I helped talk to him, you know, blah, blah, backdoor consulted on that piece. And they gave me an HBO documentary hat, which got stolen out of Wynn's girlfriend's car when her car got stolen. So, I'm working on getting to see this. There was a little trailer that was popped out on YouTube, from what I understand. Now, I didn't get to see it, and I looked today, and I guess it's gone, but I can't wait. You don't think Putin would pop one here if he could? I mean, and by the way, Putin is a czar. Everybody over there says, well, it's unarguable he's the bloodlines of fucking Nikolai. You know, Anastasia's fucking bastard uncle. There's no, I mean, 20 years president? And I mean, he's looted the fucking country just like they have here, these imperialists fucking here. And Rand Greenspan fucking trickled down on your fucking under the pyramid fucking. The only one into the golden showers is fucking Trump in Obama's bed in Moscow. How great is this? I dug this out. How perfect, huh? How perfect. This is this is 1990. You know? Trump played you. Clinton played you. How great is this? Bayer Monsanto! Mix it in with a little Fukushima fallout. You don't even know what it is. You got Fuktonium. Where's your FU at? So, Waiting for it to happen. Waiting for the main event. Already happened. The United States meltdown happened. It did where? 3 Mile Island? Santa Susana? INL? All of the above. No, the mother of all meltdowns happened. Fukushima, Japan. Yalta by the sea. You forget when they divided up the world? Japan is the 51st state. This whole dog and pony show is orchestrated by the United States of nuclearism, who owns us lock, stock, fucking barrel. The greatest organized crime syndicate. They're going to take us down? They're already taking us down. Collapse in the ocean. Pacific Ocean dies. Stock market makes all inflated type all-time high. The plunge protection fucking team. Go fucking team. Teller. Edward Teller. You're probably responsible for poisoning and killing for time and eternity more living things than all Hitler, Genghis Khan, all of them combined by 1,000 times. I don't care as long as I stop them Russians. You got to realize, the Budapest fucking madman, the fucking remains, the hangover from the fucking Hungarian Austrian Empire, blood fucking knee deep. I guess we're gonna have to go through what the Europeans had to go through. I guess that's what they say. You just haven't had blood. You haven't had bodies stacked up 200 fucking deep. Ding, ding, ding. You haven't had the starvation fucking events that we had. You haven't had it yet. I guess, but Fukushima's ravishiness. It's fucking annihilating us. People, his own words. It's an epidemic. This is the doctor today to me. It's an epidemic. He says, we've never seen rashes like this. They're on everybody. Fucking whatever. And you can't. He says, the dermatologists are booked up a year in advance here. No one gets. I says, the water's poison. The air's poison. The skin's the biggest fucking organ. I mean, total panic mode. I'm still nervous, because, look, they prep us. They talk to us. The type of disease I have is unsurvivable. I mean, the rate of surviving what I have, especially without, is nearly impossible. We know it comes back, whatever, and, I just know. I mean, I'm so militant, I'm so fucking tense. But, by the way, I got this his original from way back. I mean, way back when those guys were good. I knew Stegner. God, tell me I dropped that. God, you got so much to talk about. So the salmon, acute collapse. The tide pool's fucking dead acutely. All the fucking wells washing up. I mean, just the acute starvation event of the Pacific Ocean. And you're going to tell me mystified, baffled, puzzled, stumped, perplexed. So now, my favorite, this has got to be the fucking crowning jewel of these fuckheads. I think they all should be rounded up and fucking, whatever. I don't believe in violence, but death penalty's too bad. Hung, too fucking good for them. Put them in prison with the general population. Let them fuckers deal with them. All these scientists, every fucking one of them, NOAA. So now NOAA has put out, we want citizen scientists. The rockfish have disappeared. We're putting a call out to the citizen scientists. All hands on deck. All hands. I wonder where they got that from. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Citizen scientists. Doc Ricketts, the greatest marine biologist in American history. Never went to college. Kevin Blanch, the greatest PhD probably in history. First you hypothesize the knowledge. Then you do the field work. Then you defend your work. It's a doctor to me today. Well, that's what I think. And he says, I think it's unarguable. You're right. The atmosphere is so poisoned, and we're seeing these effects on people. You think it's coincidence that open heart surgery, organ transplant, I mean, what we've done with medicine, what we've done with organically, what we've done, the availability of, whatever. Fresh juice. There's juice bars everywhere. I mean, we're not living longer. We were living longer till 2012. The tide pools were healthy till 2012. Record returns on the salmon who go to sea for 5 years till 2016. 1,337 over the Bonneville. The big, we don't count dead tide pools, Kevin Blanche says. We don't count dead humans in bone marrow transplants. HIPAA laws. Oh, I do. We don't, but we count every fucking salmon. You know, and that's not even sucked up. It blows my mind how they can't even identify a starvation event. We're mystified. It's not that complicated. Fucking the heat source off Fukushima, which I call Fuktonium, bringing star power out of 3 fucking fucking suns. Sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles away. We got 3 of them burning in the ocean. It's hot, 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 hot. I mean, the most powerful thing, fuck, it's a plasma. It's a fucking gas. I remember I'm the first guy that started reporting the fucking plume. You could actually see it. Then people laughed. They didn't call it the plume. They didn't know what the fuck it was. I'm the guy that identified. Me and John Kirk up there. We're the ones that first started doing that work. I mean, all this early. Burning the sun, it breaks the fucking chain. The plankton and the fucking krill go. The photoplankton fucking go. Big fish eat little fish. It's not that. I mean, how these marine biologists, mystified, puzzled, stumped, baffled, perplexed, fucking curious. How the fuck everyone up should be. Yeah. It's not. You can't identify starvation. These whales are starved to death. The salmon are coming in this big. Fucking, their flesh is not even pink anymore. It's whitish. What makes it pink, kids? Class? You know, the photoplankton, the krill, this little shrimp. Big fish eat little fish. All the way down. 311 fucking gray whales. My post-ignorance army identified, starved to death on the return. Now the trek that whale get started here ASAP. You know, and so the panty painters and the feel-gooders. And remember the whale counter in Hawaii. You know, the harp players, and it would not come out dead. I liked it. I posted a comment to her again. I went to her, which I've gone a million times. The senator in Japan. Born and raised in Fukushima. When she won't even respond to you when you say, she obviously, I mean, she's born and raised there. She sure has a big mouth and goes off on everything else, you know, hyperbole like everybody else, but she won't say anything about Fukushima. Mitt Romney right to my face. Well, you're obviously ran for president, so you got to know about Fukushima. Camera from here to there. How about Tulsi Gabbard? I told Tabby. Go off, and I like her. I like her a lot. I mean, she goes. You don't think she knows about Fukushima? I've gone to her multiple. So you're told to stand down? You're told it's classified? And you're still going to stand? I mean, it's like journalism, like Igor flies into Chernobyl. He was told not to do it. Fuck, his friend says, I got a helicopter. We go in there. Every one of his pictures didn't work, you know. Old school, radiation, the pinkish in the sky, which I've had multiple photographers come to me independently, mutually exclusive each other, talking about this in their radiation. I'm picking up this pinkish in my film. What do you? I said, this is Fuktonium. You know, but one photo worked. He got it to the world. You don't think? You think about the HBO documentary, but you think about the real people that really did all these things, including Igor, including the 580,000 men. I mean, I was with Annika for years. Her and I were together. Her brothers were 2 of the guys that knocked on the door and went. They died young. She died. You know, get your mushrooms at Costco from fucking Chernobyl. I mean, this is what we're up against. I know what I'm up against. I know. I'm fucking, look, and all you guys can say, I have done it organically. I mean, I'll write a book one day. What I've done my daughters, it's a fucking miracle. You know, you show me anybody organically that's had what I've had. Yeah, you can find some chronic people or some, you know, that shrunk some tumors out there that survived. There's miracles out there. Don't get me wrong, but what I've had, AML de novo OS, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, fucking, I mean, 0.04 on the biopsy. Mine lit up at fucking 400 and something. And what I've been able to do, my daughter says, you're a walking, I mean, whatever you do, don't let anybody tell you what to do. Because nobody survives, but you have. You know, I juice, I'm militant about my diet, I'm intense, I hike every fucking day, I work at this, I stay at this, fight. If my fight isn't, fight the fuckers that did this to you. Fight back against the people that, you know, did this to you. Whatever means you have, any way you can, 24/7. If I'm not walkie-talkie living proof, that the fight is the life. That is the survival. It has become my life. The fucking great fight, as I call it, the greatest fight. You know, that is my life. I fight for her, she fights for me. The sea, the mighty blue lady, the great Pacific Ocean where all life is given birth. Fucking that's where we come from. All of it. We poison her. We gang rape her. We stand by a fucking gang rape her. The fucking mother. She's the mother of all life. And you sit back and stand down and watch her be gang raped by the nuclear energy crime syndicate? You fucking journalist. You so-called Noah. You so-called science. Fuck you. Right in hell. Because that's where you're all going. You know, some point, somebody's going to break ranks. Somebody's going to be dying of cancer and say, hey, I was paid to troll Kevin Blanchard. I was paid. Here's an emails they sent out. This is who did it. The NEI, the Department of Energy, which the Department of Energy's got a new logo, by the way. Department of Energy, United States Department of Energy has a fucking brand new logo. Karen Silkwood's car. What the fuck's he talking about? These fucking play dirty pieces of shit, and you're going to go along? You know, I still say the CIA blew that. You know, the tsunami, earthquake, that's what took out Fukushima, the earthquake. Oh, you don't think we get 9.8 million? You know, it's only a matter of time till it happens here. TikTok, building these monsters was the mistake. You know, Brookfield buys the desal plant, who already owns. Brookfield buys fucking General Electric took Toshiba down, took Chicago Edison brand down. I mean, Westinghouse. Westinghouse took them down. The biggest company. Trump and Obama did a fucking backdoor. World Bank fucking bailed them the fuck out. Brookfield, the fucking real estate company, he went to Jared, fucking the New York City. I mean, they not only buy all the reactors, they're buying up all the reactors and going getting the bailout. Now they buy the desal plant that fucking the reactor poison, and they own. Same old theme, 1914, with their guns and their tanks and their fucking bombs. I mean, you know anything about World War I, World War II history? What led up? Imperialism. One family ruling the world. Fucking the Japanese fucking imperialists and the fucking Germans, which are the Russian czars, which are the English, the same cousins, remember? Remember that? That's what happened. They sucked up all the fucking wealth, the fucking a tight fucking group. You know, Ayn Rand, Greenspan, science fiction, economics, fucking... They fucking looted the country. There's fucking Putin's a czar. So, those are cool as hell. Somebody sent me those. They're old salmon labels, Chinook. That wasn't that long ago. It's right there in Oregon. That's what tide pools are supposed to look like. On the bottom of Collins. You've seen it. 2010. That's Diablo Canyon's fucking emergency evacuation calendar. We go from fucking Jack Sigma, 79, increasing nominal wages from 1945 to 1979, decrease of Reagan, go team. May Brussels, Carmel, California, 19 November. Kids, the Bush CIA has occupied the fucking White House. They will never leave. It's over. So, boy, did she call that one. So, decreasing nominal wages from 1980 to present. Imperialism. They got it all back. Same old thing. But this time they went too far. They eat their own. They poison our air. They poison our water. He said it right to me. You can't even get in to see a dermatologist. It's off the hook. It's an epidemic. What? It's our air. It's our fucking water. It's poison. I don't know how any of this will lay. Stand tuned.